there's something great about starting out younger as an actor, because you sort of, you learn as you do it and you have very informative early on experiences. But I'd also say that you can often betray your true sort of sense of taste and self by just working, or by perhaps listening to people around you because that's what you're supposed to do, but you haven't yet kind of your own volition decided what you want to do. And I think that a couple times I was part of a project where, no disrespect to the people making the film, but it was interesting even on Need for Speed, where it was like a car race movie with this beautiful cast, but I knew that it wasn't right. And I knew making the film that it just didn't reflect anything that I really deeply kind of valued. And that's a kind of lesson that you learn, and you're able to say, okay, that's that kind of movie, and there are people out there who love that film, but I don't really understand why. So it makes more sense for me to, like, choose different projects. And on the flip side of that, I think I've become a lot less snobby. And I think I was kind of snobby when I was younger. So I'm able now to be a bit more like, oh, that's what that movie is meant to be, and you should go have fun and enjoy it, rather than like critique something like that, because you can't do it.
With Need for Speed in particular, was it like, I hate kind of, just labeling it something so broad like this, but was it a matter of like the size of the project? Because when I look at your filmography, so much of what excites me is like there's just so many smaller independent films that are doing these really bold things that, oftentimes those big budget studio projects just can't do. So was it more the scale of that? And if so, are those like big budget studio films not in the cards for you? Not yet, at least, until the perfect thing rolls around.
Yeah, I don't know if it was even to do with the size. I mean, obviously, there's a certain type of subject that will be rewarded with a greater budget because it's like based on a video game and it's about race cars, and there's something so broad there where you're not going to get the same budget for, I wish you could, but about a film about sort of Tim Buckley, you're just not going to get that kind of scale. But I think it was, and I wouldn't even put it down to sort of it being a very like masculine topic, because I've just been a part of a show with a lot of men who were just exquisite souls to be around. So I think it was a very specific experience to that project, and probably the subject matter and the character too, and the way that she had been written, was difficult. But I also think when I started out, I did a movie called A Solitary Man, and then I did this film called A Late Quartet, both in New York, both when I was about 20 years old, and both small, independent films. And I think when you've had that experience and you're among actors like that, it's very, you want to return to it. It's like that speaks to kind of what you really care about.